My name is John Iwawaki. I'm the instructional specialist in the STEM office, focus on science, K-12 in our district, curriculum and instruction. This is the district science fair, secondary science fair. There are students here from, I believe, 8 or 9 middle and high schools. We have about 140, 150 projects this year. Some really great projects. We gave out over 70 awards tonight. They were judged by about 40 judges from the community. Judges come from all over. They come from UC Berkeley, they come from Biorad, they come from USDA, Bayer, all over. Some retired science professors, a little bit of everything. And they come and get into teams and they look at the projects. So each project gets looked at several times. They're really looking for how the project was designed and really the quality of the science as well. So they're looking for just good experimental design. How do they set things up? And then how is their data collection? How's their data analysis? How do they communicate? You know, this is really all about communicating what you've done as well, right? So you let the board speak for all the things that you've done. So kids really get a chance to be creative in their board as well in their presentation.
This year I did a project testing to see how different types of sunscreen specifically affect coral reefs or sea life in general.
My project this year was about how your facial structure and your facial appearance affect how people perceive you at first glance.
So in our world today, I thought about how batteries and other things power a lot of the appliances and other day-to-day things in our lives. So I wanted to do a project about batteries.
I think the science fair is really important because it gives them a chance to actually do science. So we tend to think of scientists as smart people because they know lots of facts or whatever. And I really think that scientists don't just know a bunch of facts. They actually they do what they do, and they're good at what they do because they're good at asking questions, and they're good at designing investigations and wondering about what's the next thing. How can I fix this? How can I make this better? We talk about how the engineering design process, and that's really finding its way appropriately into the science classroom as well. So that's happening here, and science is a process. We can design something and they have sort of a finished product here, but science is never really finished either. So they come to one conclusion, but really we hope that leads to the next question, and what's the next investigation going to be?
So I used vinegar, motor oil, dish soap, and weed killer, and I did different groups of more dilute and less dilute solutions, and I wanted to see how the solutions dimmed the light and how quickly they dimmed it.
I think this is really interesting and relevant these days, especially in the age of social media, because you can totally change how people think of you and how people think of other people by just taking the photo in a different way.
Problem solving can be a really a fun thing for a kid to do. So many times we tell kids and students, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. They follow their assignment, they do the tasks that we ask them. The science fair really allows kids to be creative on their own, to think of their own question, to solve their own problem. So they're really doing research that's interesting to them. And I think finding that answer is really, we do that even when we're not in the classroom, right? We do that when we're out in a car or when we're out looking at stuff. We're just trying to figure things out, and really that's what we want science to be in our district. We don't want to be just learning about science, we want to be figuring things out.